Chapter 2744. President Su. Xianxia was wearing an elegant dark gray dress and a black leather jacket. Her long hair was curled up slightly. She was the most popular actress in Imperial Star Entertainment. However, she was the most low-key one. No matter how popular she was, she never showed her impulsiveness. "Come in. Don't just stand there." Su Yu opened the door and let Xianxia in. He asked half-jokingly, "You didn't ask the media to follow you, right?" Zhao Qingya and Jian Tong had both used this method to expose their intimate relationship with Su Yu. But the truth was? Su Yu hadn't even admitted it. This was a desperate method used by some women who were eager to climb up the social ladder. Xianxia was stunned by Su Yu's question. Obviously, she didn't do that. When Su Yu asked her, she was startled. "It's okay. I'm just kidding," Su Yu said casually. Xianxia came in and put the fruit in her hand on the coffee table. "President Su, I heard about the twins. You like them very much and must be worried sick. I know you can't eat anything, so I didn't buy anything. When I passed by a fruit stall, I bought some fruit." "Thank you," Su Yu said as he went to the fridge and took out a can of Coke for Xianxia. "You haven't been out shooting recently?" Su Yu didn't go to the company and didn't pay much attention to the artists' schedules. "I just finished one. I'm taking a break." Su Yu nodded and took out his cell phone to check the WeChat group. They were talking about the kids. Jiang Xiaowei said that Wei Yunchu was depressed and that his son would be lovesick if he couldn't find pudding. Zhu Lingling said that Gao Ran blamed his father's incompetence for not finding pudding. He didn't even let his father come home for dinner. Gao Ran wanted to cry but had no tears. After reading it, Su Yu sent a laughing emoji. "President Su, have you had dinner?" Xianxia looked at Su Yu's face and asked carefully. "No, I'm not hungry." Su Yu answered neatly. "Do you have any ingredients at home? I'll make you something to eat." "Don't bother. I'm hungry. I can order takeout anytime. It's not good to eat too much takeout. Let me do it. I have nothing to do anyway." Then, Xianxia stood up and walked to the fridge. She opened the fridge and found it empty. Finally, she found a packet of instant noodles, a piece of bacon, and ham. Then, she quietly walked into the kitchen. In front of Su Yu, Xianxia didn't have much of a presence. Su Yu was still playing with his phone, almost forgetting her existence. It wasn't until a plate of noodles was served that Su Yu smelled the fragrance and came back to his senses. "What is this?" "Stir-fried instant noodles." "You can stir-fry instant noodles?" Su Yu's face was filled with disbelief. A long time ago, when Tang Chuan came over, he was hungry in the middle of the night and asked the supermarket downstairs to deliver instant noodles to him. He ate out most of the time and didn't like instant noodles. To his surprise, the bowl of instant noodles looked appetizing after being cooked by Xianxia. "Please try it. I learned it from my mom. My sister and I both love it." Xianxia smiled. Su Yu nodded. He picked up his chopsticks and took a big bite. "How is it, President Su?" "Not bad." Su Yu nodded and continued eating. "Deep in the mountains." Then, she looked at Zhang Manlin coldly and asked, "How long until we reach Qinghe town?" Chapter 2745. Almost there, almost there. Although Zhang Manlin said that, she had been thinking about how to hide the twins. She didn't know that she would be captured by Wuxia as soon as she arrived at Qinghe town. She was still thinking about what to do. She had made a deal with the twins and thought that she would be able to go to Qinchu soon. She had helped Qinchu save the kids and was supposed to be a great hero. But now, she was a wanted criminal. That way, Zhang Manlin wouldn't be able to send the twins back safely. However, the twins didn't know about it yet. Seeing that Qinghe town was not far away, Zhang Manlin slowed down the car. "What's going on? What are you up to now?" Little Bean didn't believe Zhang Manlin at all. She didn't think that a woman who had been tortured by her would be so kind as to send them back. "The car doesn't have much gas left. We need to find a gas station. I saw one on the map just now, so we have to slow down." Zhang Manlin found an excuse. Little Bean wanted to say something but was stopped by Pudding. Pudding shook her head at her, indicating that she shouldn't say too much. Seeing her sister's reaction, Little Bean swallowed her words back. But she was still very unhappy with Zhang Manlin. Just as Zhang Manlin was about to turn into the other side of the road to get gas, a big truck suddenly appeared in the middle of the road in front of her. What's the meaning of this? Zhang Manlin cursed. She frowned and wanted to get out of the car to check it out. Just then she saw 3 men walk out from behind the truck. Each of them had a long machete in their hands. Zhang Manlin, you bitch. You got people to set us up, Little Bean cursed at Zhang Manlin. She thought that Zhang Manlin had teamed up with others to set this up. It wasn't me. I don't know what's going on. Zhang Manlin was confused. Sit tight. They might be robbers. I'll reverse first. Seeing that there was no way out, Zhang Manlin decided to reverse and run. Don't look behind you, Pudding reminded him calmly. Zhang Manlin turned around and saw that there were 2 black cars behind her. Both of them were from bad brands. However, there was a car blocking her way, so she couldn't go over. What should we do? What should we do? We're dead meat. Zhang Manlin was so scared that her face turned pale. She couldn't even control her limbs. What's there to think about? Run into them. Even if we have to kill them, we have to run into them. Otherwise, we're all done for. Little Bean shouted. No, we can't get through. Look at the road on both sides. There are rows of nails. The tires will burst. Pudding carefully looked in the rearview mirror. Looks like they came prepared. Little Bean nodded and stopped thinking about running. Bitch, get out of the car, the man in the front shouted. This was a group of ferocious-looking guys. Including the leader, there were a total of 6 people, all of whom were burly men from the mountains. Not only were the twins scared, even Zhang Manlin was about to pee her pants. Or you, did Big Brother Qian send you? Zhang Manlin naively thought that they were Wuxia Qian's men. Chapter 2746. What Big Brother Qian? What nonsense are you talking about? I'm your big brother. Hi. The man opened the car door and dragged Zhang Manlin out of the car. Zhang Manlin fell to the ground, her face pale with fear. Search. This is a Mercedes-Benz. She must be rich. Search it carefully. Don't miss a single cent, the leader, Big Brother Hai, ordered, and the lackeys behind him immediately opened the car door. However, they were shocked by the twins in the back seat. Big Brother, we found something. What did you find? There are 2 children here. The lackeys looked at the twins in confusion. The man called Big Brother Hai walked over and opened the car door. The twins were looking at them with their big, cute eyes. The 2 children weren't as flustered as usual. They weren't scared to the point of crying. They looked out of the car window calmly. Pudding and Little Bean stared into the eyes of the criminals. These 2 children are so cute. Is that your mother? Pointing at Zhang Manlin, Big Brother Hai asked the twins. She's your mother, Little Bean immediately retorted. God knew how much she hated Zhang Manlin. How could such a flirtatious bitch be compared to her mother, Huamin? Big Brother, she's insulting you. The lackeys reacted and immediately reminded Big Brother Hai. Pudding thought that the man would be angry after Little Bean insulted him. Unexpectedly, the man laughed out loud. This child has the aura of a bandit. I like her. She's like my daughter. Okay, stop talking nonsense. Take them all away. Big Brother, this car is very valuable. It's worth more than 500,000 yuan. Let's take it too. The lackeys looked at the black Mercedes-Benz with shining eyes. Are you fucking stupid? How many times have I told you, the more luxurious the car is, the more you can't take it away. This thing is very advanced. It's full of high-tech and has GPS. Do you want to get us killed? Yes, Big Brother is right. You guys, hurry up and take away all the valuables. Then, take the women and children with you. Just like that, Zhang Manlin and the twins were taken away by the criminals who came out of nowhere. The Mercedes-Benz was left on a mountain road not far from Qinghe town. Wuxia Qian's men waited for a long time, but they still didn't see the Mercedes-Benz. In the end, Qing ordered them to expand their search area. Inside the Hua mansion, Wuxia Qian was sitting in the living room, drinking tea with a leisurely expression. Boss, bad news? Speak. Zhang Manlin is gone, and so are the two kids. What do you mean? Huasiqian put down his teacup and slowly raised his head. Didn't you tell us to wait for Zhang Manlin in Qinghe town? Once Zhang Manlin arrived, we were to tie her up. But she didn't enter Qinghe town. I sent people to look for her, but all we found was the car. She and the kids were gone, Aching said. Gone? Huasiqian raised his eyebrows slightly. Boss, do you think Zhang Manlin knew that we were going to deal with her, so she ran away? Or did she really betray us and want to hand them over to Qin Chu? No, Zhang Manlin wouldn't have the guts to do that. She's a wanted criminal now, and it's impossible for her to hand them over to Qin Chu. She'll die anyway. Then why is she gone? Search the town and the surrounding villages carefully. I think she might be hiding, Huasiqian said. Yes, we'll search immediately. Deep in the mountains in the bandits' lair, sis, look, this place. Little Bean raised her finger and pointed outside the car window. When Pudding looked over, she was also slightly shocked. Chapter 2747. Hearing Little Bean's words, Pudding immediately looked up. There was such a magical place in the depths of the mountain. Was the kind of bandit den that was often shown in TV shows? The architecture was not simple at all. It even had a Chinese style. Sis, this is a bandit den? Little Bean exclaimed. What else? Do you think it's Disney? Pudding said. Little Bean no longer knew fear. Instead, her eyes were attracted by the architecture. In the depths of the mountain, there was a small wooden second floor. It was exquisite and elegant, clean inside and out. People who didn't know would think it was a tourist attraction. The funny thing was that there were two small wooden turrets at the entrance. Big brother, you're just robbing. Let us go. You took what you wanted. I still have some money. Here, it's all yours. Then, Zhang Manlin took out the tens of thousands of yuan in cash she had with her. She wanted to go back to her hometown to show off, but she ran into this. Big brother, look, this girl is rich. She has tens of thousands of yuan with her. Ha, we're rich. The subordinate took the cash and immediately handed it to the leader with a fawning smile. The man named Big Brother Hai took the money and weighed it in his hand. He smiled and said, I've been dreaming about a big red coffin these days. Ha, I knew it. Ha, we're really going to get a big job. Ha, of course, Big Brother. Coffin. Promotion and wealth. I told you it was a good thing. The subordinate was also busy sucking up. Doesn't coffin mean we're going to die? Why is it wealth? Little Bean said innocently. Her words made the kidnappers' faces darken. Little kid, what do you know? Hey, don't lower yourself to the kid's level. She's just a kid. The man named Big Brother Hai was in a good mood and forgave Little Bean's unintentional words. Little Bean, don't talk. We'll play it by ear. Sis, are we going to die here? Little Bean asked worriedly. No, I have a feeling that if we don't run into them, Zhang Manlin won't be able to safely send us to Daddy. So, since it's already like this, we can rest assured. Pudding lowered her voice and kept telling her sister what to do. You two are so noisy, stop mumbling. The kidnapper snorted impatiently. Big brother, I'm really not a rich girl. My car was borrowed. Please let me go. Zhang Manlin's heart sank when she saw the kidnappers. Who are you trying to fool? If you're not rich, why do you drive a Mercedes-Benz and bring so much cash? No, I'm really not rich. I work for someone else. My boss is Huasiqian. He's very famous in C-City. In order to protect herself, Zhang Manlin immediately brought up Huasiqian in an attempt to suppress the kidnappers. Huasiqian? The man called Big Brother Hai looked at Zhang Manlin in confusion. Yes. He's the boss of the whole corporation. He's the boss. I'm just an errand girl. Please don't make things difficult for me. Zhang Manlin pretended to be pitiful. What do you mean by Huasiqian or Huasivan? I don't know him. Big Brother Hai waved his hand. I'm really... Zhang Manlin wanted to say more. But the man beside her slapped her across the face. Bitch, shut up. My big brother thinks you're too noisy. Do you understand? Chapter 2748. A merciless slap landed on Zhang Manlin's face. Zhang Manlin was dizzy from the impact. She didn't dare to say anything else. Just like that, the twins and Zhang Manlin were kidnapped by a group of mountain bandits and taken deep into the mountains. On the other hand, Sea City was in chaos looking for the kids. "Honey, is there any news?" Huamin asked anxiously. "Yes, there is." "Where are the kids?" Huamin cried tears of joy. "We've tracked down Xinjiani and He Yongjun's location. They're in the mountains near Taoyuan village. I'll take a helicopter there tonight with Gao Ran and some special forces to hunt them down." "But the kids aren't with them?" Huamin froze. "Yes, but they have to pay the price." "What about the kids? Where are our daughters?" According to the people in Taoyuan village, there's a man who claims to be Zhang Manlin's cousin. He said that Zhang Manlin walked along the mountain path. There are very few villages in the mountains and even fewer towns. According to the number of days and kilometers, Zhang Manlin should arrive at Qinghe town soon. We've already contacted the police there to set up obstacles to stop her. Reinforcements are also on their way. Zhang Manlin is different from He Yongjun and the others. She doesn't have a weapon. So, we'll see Pudding and Little Bean in Qinghe town soon? Huamian was overjoyed. "If I'm not mistaken, yes." Qin Chu nodded. "Honey," I called Jixin. "You go home and rest. I'll go hunt down He Yongjun and Xinjiani. Once I'm done, I'll go to Qinghe town to pick them up." "No, I want to go with you." "No, it's too far away. It's too bumpy," Qin Chu refused. "No, if you don't let me go with you, then I'll go to Qinghe town and wait for them." Huamin was stubborn. In the end, Qin Chu had no choice. He was worried about Huamin going to Qinghe town alone, so he took her to the helicopter and rushed to the mountainous area of Peach Blossom Village. "Huamin, you're going too?" Gao Ran was surprised to see Huamin. "Yes." "Will it work?" "As far as I know, He Yongjun is not a kind person. He has guns and explosives in his hands. He is an extremely vicious person. It will be dangerous for us. Is it appropriate for you to come with us?" Gao Ran was also thinking about Huamin's safety. "Perfect," Huamian replied with 2 words. Gao Ran was speechless. "It's fine. Let her come along. I can take care of her at any time." In order to take care of Huamin's feelings, Qin Chu didn't have the heart to refuse. He took Huamin with him to the helicopter. On the TV, the female anchor reported, "According to the latest news, the Municipal Bureau has sent out a helicopter to catch the kidnappers. They are said to be escaping into the mountains of Peach Blossom Village. This time, the Municipal Bureau Chief, Gao Ran, is personally guiding them. The parents of the children are also involved. We are looking forward to the news of their children's safe return." Seeing this, Hui Yanyan smashed the remote control on the TV. "Mommy, what's wrong?" Tian was scared out of her wits. Tian, I told you not to tell anyone about Grandma. How could you not remember?" Hui Yanyan vented her anger on her daughter. "But Uncle Shen is not just anyone. He is a person like Daddy," Tian replied in a weak voice. "Did you see that? You are not as humane as a child." Shen Mingxi opened the door and walked in. He heard the conversation between the mother and daughter. Chapter 2749. "Shen Mingxi, what do you mean? You lied to my daughter and you think you're in the right?" Hui Yanyan was also furious. "I didn't lie to her. Tian was telling the truth. I'm telling you, if anything happens to my mom, I won't forgive you." "Hui Yanyan, you have to understand that you're living in my house, eating my food, wearing my clothes, and using my money. So what? Do you think I'll sleep with you for free? Prostitutes have to pay. Even if I charge 500 yuan per session, I'm worth the price." Hui Yanyan was eloquent. Shen Mingxi glanced at her in disappointment. "Hui Yanyan, you disappoint me." Then he turned to leave. He had fallen in love with Hui Yanyan because she didn't fight back when Wei Ying bullied her. What was the difference between her forbearance and kindness when she was a crazy woman and Wei Ying when she was young? "Shen Mingxi, stop right there." Hui Yanyan rushed up and blocked Shen Mingxi's way. "Get out of my way. I'm not in the mood to argue with you." Shen Mingxi glanced at her in disgust. "If I get out of your way, you can go find another woman, right?" Hui Yanyan's attitude was firm. Hui Yanyan, I didn't know you had such a despicable side. Huh, it's not too late. Ha, it's not too late for you to find out. I know you all like women like Huamian. I'm born to be cheap and deserve to die. She does all the good things and does all the good things while I'm in the wrong. You don't know how cruel Huamian is. I knelt down but she still wouldn't let my mother go. Hui Yanyan said as tears rolled down her cheeks. Furious, Shen Mingxi grabbed Hui Yanyan by the collar and scolded, Hui Yanyan, are you kidding me? Your mother kidnapped someone else's child. If your child was kidnapped, wouldn't you be worried? I realize that you can't tell right from wrong. If your mother were to commit murder and arson, would you follow her? You said she's nice too. Shen Mingxi realized that Hui Yanyan and Hui Si were basically the same. He wondered what kind of education Xinjiani received. He was already an adult, yet he still had no sense of right and wrong. He stubbornly believed that he was right. What kind of logic was this to think that it was the other person's fault for not forgiving her? Who doesn't make mistakes their whole life? My mom was just confused for a moment. Hui Yanyan was still trying to defend herself. Your mom wasn't confused for a moment. It was premeditated and vicious. Hui Yanyan, if you continue to be confused, you and your mom will end up the same way. Huamin and Qin Chu are already at Tao Yuan village. Your mom and that man are dead for sure. You better pray for yourself. Then, Shen Mingxi violently pushed Hui Yanyan to the ground. Then he opened the door and left. Mommy, please don't fight with Uncle Shen. Tian is scared. The child was so scared that she kept crying. Hui Yanyan sat on the ground and cried like a madwoman. She only thought that her mother was her last family in this world. Therefore, she ignored the fact that she had broken the law. She also didn't realize that she and her child had been used by Xinjiani and He Yongjun. Su Yu's private mansion. After Su Yu finished his noodles, he saw that it was getting late. Just as he was about to walk Nielingxian out, he bumped into Tang Chuan and Qi Ning. Wow, what's going on? What are you two doing? Tang Chuan smiled evilly. Chapter 2750. Ahem, don't misunderstand, Su Yu quickly explained. What do you mean misunderstand? We didn't say anything. Lord Su, why are you in such a hurry? Tang Chuan teased him. Don't bullshit. Su Yu knew that Tang Chuan loved to watch a show. Are we bothering you? Qi Ning hid behind Tang Chuan and smirked. Qi Ning, you've become naughty. Su Yu scolded Qi Ning like an uncle. Men love naughty women. My Ning is becoming more and more like me. You guys talk, President Su. I'm leaving. Nielingxian blushed and was about to leave. Hey, superstar, don't be in such a hurry to leave. Stay a little longer, Tang Chuan teased. No, I won't disturb you guys. Then, Nielingxian walked towards a red Porsche 918 parked on the side of the road. The bodyguard's car immediately followed and escorted Nielingxian away. You're probably going to be in the newspaper again tomorrow. Your company's female artists love to play this game and chase after the boss. Tang Chuan said to Su Yu. I don't think so. Su Yu trusted Nielingxian. Wow, good reviews. What's up? Are you two together? Bullshit, don't guess. There's nothing between us. If there's nothing between us, why are we here in the middle of the night? Eating sunflower seeds? Fuck off. Su Yu knew that Tang Chuan was teasing him, so he immediately retorted. Okay, I'll stop teasing you. By the way, we're here to ask you if you're going to Taoyuan Village or Qinghe Town. Pick one. What do you mean? Su Yu didn't seem to have received the latest news. My brother has already found out where Xinjiani and He Yongjun are. He, my sister-in-law, and Gao Ran have already gone after them. Then, we also found out that Zhang Manlin should be arriving at Qinghe Town soon. If it's confirmed that the child was taken by Zhang Manlin, we should be able to stop them in Qinghe Town. Of course we're going to Qinghe Town. I'm going to pick up the twins. Su Yu couldn't wait any longer. Yes, that's what my brother thinks too. That's why he and sister-in-law went after the bad guys. They asked the three of us to go to Qinghe Town to pick up the children. Let's go then. Just like that? Tang Chuan asked. You're not driving? Su Yu was stunned. Driving is so fucking slow. Hurry up and tell the military to get a military helicopter over. That's the way to go. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so busy that I'm confused. Upon hearing Tang Chuan's words, Su Yu immediately called the military. The grandson of the chief was indeed very influential. In less than 20 minutes, the helicopter was ready. Su Yu, Tang Chuan, Qin Ning, and Su Yu's personal assistant, and boarded the helicopter and headed directly to Qinghe town. Meanwhile, in the mountain village, the men looked at Zhang Manlin, drooling. Big brother, are you sure you don't want to keep this woman for yourself? One of the henchmen asked. I don't like this kind of woman. Look at that nose, it's shining under the light. It's obviously fake. I don't like plastic surgery. I prefer Lu area from Wang village. She's pretty. The man called Big Brother Hai was obviously not very satisfied with Zhang Manlin. Big brother, if you say so, then we won't hold back. We'll take turns. Wow, are they going to take turns with Zhang Manlin? Little Bean asked her sister secretly with her eyes wide open. I think so. Pudding nodded. That's good news. This woman deserves it. Little Bean snickered. Big brothers, please, don't. Zhang Manlin was scared out of her wits. She was still fantasizing about using her virginity to seduce Qin Chu. She didn't want to be tainted by these hillbillies. Chapter 2751. Help! Someone help me! Zhang Manlin screamed at the top of her lungs. Little girl, in the depths of this mountain, even if you shout until your throat breaks, no one will come to save you. Even the people from the Public Security Bureau will get lost when they come in. The man called Brother Hai was obviously very confident in his nest. Big brother, I've given you my money. Please don't violate me. Zhang Manlin pretended to be pitiful. No way, we haven't gone down the mountain in a long time and we haven't tasted a woman in a long time. Today we'll start with you. Then, one of the men reached out and took off Zhang Manlin's jacket. She stepped back desperately and pointed at the two children not far away. They're girls too. Go find them. Fuck, is Zhang Manlin crazy? Little Bean was furious. She's shameless to the extreme. How dare she have designs on us? Pudding was also very angry. Are you crazy? Those two children are only 3 or 4 years old. How can we do that? We're not perverts. We're not pedophiles. Sigh, you're a vicious woman. One of the men looked at Zhang Manlin with disdain, thinking that she was a bad person. I had a way to save her, but I wouldn't save her even if I were beaten to death, Pudding said in a low voice. Sis, are you kidding? We can't even save ourselves. How can you save her? I'm curious, how are you going to save her? This is a tiger's den. We don't have any martial arts skills. I regret not learning martial arts from Uncle Lin. Otherwise, we would have kicked them away. Little Bean sighed. Pudding leaned close to Little Bean's ear and whispered, Actually, I just need to say that Zhang Manlin has AIDS. What kind of bullshit idea is that? These men aren't stupid. Do you think they'll believe you just because you say so? Little Bean didn't think it was a good idea. She might be seen through with a single glance. I have a way to make them believe it. Little Bean looked at her genius sister curiously. The urine of a patient with HIV will be positive even if she's not pregnant. When the time comes, I'll go with Zhang Manlin to the urine test so that they can see it. But Zhang Manlin isn't pregnant, and she doesn't have AIDS. How can her urine be positive? Is she taking drugs? Little Bean knew that the urine of drug users was positive. I don't know if she takes drugs or not, but I have a positive pregnancy test kit with me. I can take it out directly. Fuck, where did you get that thing? Little Bean was even more shocked. I stole it from Mommy. Why does Mommy have that thing? Could it be? Little Bean finally realized what was going on. She looked at the pudding with her big eyes. Pudding nodded and said mysteriously, Mommy is pregnant with a second child, but I don't know the gender. Oh my God. Really? Little Bean was still in shock. Keep your voice down, Pudding reminded him. Why didn't anyone tell me? It's such a big deal. You guys don't even treat me as a family member. Little Bean looked aggrieved. How could she not know about Mommy's pregnancy? Even Daddy didn't know. How would you know? Pudding said proudly. Little Bean was even more shocked now. She looked at her sister with her mouth wide open. Chapter 2752. Chin Mumu, you can stuff a goose egg in your mouth right now. No, I'm just too surprised. You know things that Daddy doesn't know. You're amazing, s. Little Bean looked at Pudding with admiration. I saw it by accident. Mommy was having morning sickness. She said her stomach was uncomfortable but she wouldn't take any medicine. I knew something was wrong. Then why did you hide Mommy's pregnancy test kit? It's going to be a death exemption card. Little Bean looked at her sister with amusement. No, I wanted to find a chance to tell Daddy secretly. This is the evidence. Fuck, you're betraying Mommy? It's not a betrayal. Mommy and Daddy are a couple, Pudding quibbled. Okay, you win. Chin Zhao Zhao, you're the best. No wonder you're the older sister. Ha, you were born a few minutes earlier than me. You're a lot more awesome. Little Bean worshipped her sister so much that she couldn't stop worshipping her. The two sisters chatted happily. On the other side, Zhang Manlin's clothes were almost stripped off. No matter how much she begged and cried, those people had no intention of letting her go. The man called Big Brother Hai didn't seem to want his subordinates to stop either. Wait, I have important information to exchange with you. Zhang Manlin suddenly had an epiphany and yelled loudly. You crazy woman, what do you want to do now? Big Brother Hai, I have important information to tell you. It's an opportunity for you to make a fortune, Zhang Manlin said directly to the boss. Oh, what important information? What opportunity for you to make a fortune? Tell me. The man called Big Brother Hai played with 2 walnuts in his hands and looked up at Zhang Manlin. I promise you that I'll give you more money than you can spend in your lifetime. But you have to promise me that you won't let your subordinates violate me, or else. I'll never tell you. Zhang Manlin made a condition at this moment. Hey, bitch, how dare you make conditions with our boss? One of the subordinates grabbed Zhang Manlin's hair and was about to hit her. Stop, Big Brother Hai suddenly shouted. Let her continue. Big Brother Hai seemed to be very interested in Zhang Manlin's opportunity to make a fortune. Let me tell you, you still dare to lie to us. After we're done with you, we'll throw you to the back of the mountain. There are wolves there. When the time comes, we'll leave your corpse in the wilderness. A few of his subordinates threatened Zhang Manlin. Don't worry, I don't want to die yet. I wouldn't dare to lie to Big Brother Hai, Zhang Manlin said calmly. Sis, what do you think this woman is going to say? Little Bean asked curiously. I don't think it's anything good. This woman, most of her ideas are vicious. We have to be careful. Pudding looked at Zhang Manlin cautiously. Interesting. Hee, a little interesting. Heidi put the walnuts in his hand on the table and stood up with a smile. He slowly walked towards Zhang Manlin. Big Brother Hai, does this mean you've agreed? Zhang Manlin raised her head nervously and asked. Alright, I promise you. I want to see what great opportunity you have to make me rich. Big Brother Hai agreed to Zhang Manlin's request without hesitation. She was overjoyed. Can you tell me now? The man asked. Zhang Manlin turned her head and pointed at the twins. Then she said viciously, it's them. They can make you rich. The twins' faces changed when they heard this. Chapter 2753. The two of them? How can 2 little girls make me rich? Woman, are you trying to trick me? Do you think I'm an uneducated peasant? Big Brother Hai was very displeased. No, Big Brother Hai, listen to me. Do you know who their parents are? Zhang Manlin grabbed Big Brother Hai's hand anxiously. How the fuck would I know? Woman, don't waste my time. Just tell me. Big Brother Hai seemed to have lost his patience. After all, he was a mountain man and didn't understand word games. Big Brother Hai, the 2 children's father, is a very famous entrepreneur in our country. His name is Qin Chu, the president of GK Corporation. He's worth tens of billions. Their mother is Huamin, the director of Southside Recuperation Center, the most famous hospital in Sea City. The mansion they live in is a castle worth more than 400 million yuan. The children's grandfather is also an entrepreneur. The children's aunt, second grandpa, and so on. Yes, the children's godfather is Su Yu. You must have heard of this name before. He's the famous heir of the Su family in Sea City, the boss behind Imperial Star Corporation. More than half of the popular female stars were groomed by him. He has more than a dozen sports cars. Is it true? Big Brother Hai obviously didn't believe Zhang Manlin's words. It's true. If I lie to you, I'll die a horrible death. Zhang Manlin swore to win Big Brother Hai's trust. Don't talk nonsense. Who said handsome Su is our godfather? You damn woman, you only know how to spread rumors. Little Bean couldn't help but curse at Zhang Manlin. Exposing her and her sister's identities was one thing. She didn't expect her to be noble. But saying that handsome Su was their godfather was a bit too much. The twins often went on Weibo and naturally knew that the word godfather wasn't a good word. So, they didn't want to hear Zhang Manlin's nonsense. Big Brother Hai, trust me. If you tie them up right now and call their father, you'll have 1 billion yuan. I guarantee you won't be able to spend it all in your lifetime. You won't have to hide in this poor valley anymore. Zhang Manlin egged on the man named Big Brother Hai. Actually, she was also trying to divert attention so that his subordinates would not touch her. Zhang Manlin, you're really something. You sold us out just to protect yourself. But that's good. I didn't have to think about how to save you. You're the one who killed yourself. Pudding stared at Zhang Manlin's face, not surprised at all. From the moment she started driving slowly, Pudding suspected that she didn't really want to take them home. Therefore, who knew what other dangers there would be in Qinghe town? Things were fine now. The kidnappers suddenly appeared out of nowhere, but as long as they weren't Zhang Manlin or Huasiqian's people, things weren't that bad. Kid, I don't need you to save me. Save it. Zhang Manlin sneered at Pudding. Alright, stop arguing. Since we accidentally caught 2 money trees, then, I really need to plan how to make a lot of money. I've had enough of living in this poor ravine. It's time to think about the rest of my life, brothers. Here, the 5 men replied in unison. Our good days are coming. Long live Big Brother Hai. Big Brother, what should we do now? Should we call the families of the 2 kids? Big Brother Hai's men asked excitedly. Chapter 2754. Don't worry, we're tired. Go and cook. We'll have a drink first and then figure out a plan. Spus. The thugs were very happy. Lock the 2 kids in the warehouse. Wait, Pudding suddenly shouted. The adults turned around and looked at Pudding. You're all big men. Do you have to do this? We're only 3 years old. Do you think we can run away? Why don't you lock the woman up? If she accidentally runs away, you'll be in trouble. She'll go down the mountain and call the police. After Pudding finished speaking, the men immediately looked at Zhang Manlin warily. Zhang Manlin was so scared that she quickly waved her hands. Guys, don't listen to this little brat. I won't say anything. I've already told you such important information. I'm on your side now. I won't call the police or run away. After you get the ransom, just let me go. I don't want a penny. No, I'll have to lock you up first. You guys, go and lock them up. The 2 little ones in the warehouse. As for the woman, lock her up in the basement. Pudding's words made sense. Big Brother Hai was afraid that Zhang Manlin would cause trouble, so he really locked her up in the basement, where it was even harder to escape. Little brat. Zhang Manlin cursed evilly as she walked past Pudding. Bitch. Pudding, who had always been polite and didn't like to curse, retorted for the first time. She also cursed Zhang Manlin. Just like that, the twins were locked up in the warehouse. Zhang Manlin was locked up in the basement. The thugs ate and drank as if they were celebrating the capture of the God of Fortune. On the other side, near Taoyuan village, the helicopter landed on the flat ground at the foot of the mountain. The armed police were all on standby. There were 40 to 50 people. Gao Ran in his police uniform got off the plane. When he got off the helicopter, the leader of the armed police walked over and saluted Gao Ran. Hello, Chief Gao. I'm Zhang Bin, the platoon leader of this mission. We received orders from our superiors to help you chase the thugs. Yes, thank you for your hard work, platoon leader Zhang. Gao Ran nodded. It's nothing. It's my duty to serve the people. What's the situation in the mountains now? Can you find the exact location of He Yongjun and Wang Yao? Gao Ran asked as he took the binoculars from Zhang Bin. It's very difficult. That criminal is obviously very skilled, and his anti-reconnaissance ability is particularly strong. The place he's hiding in is steep, easy to defend and difficult to attack. We're thinking of a way. Yes, if necessary, you can kill him on the spot. Gao Ran directly told him the truth. Understood. Afterward, platoon leader Zhang went to deploy the mission. Gao Ran turned around and said to Qin Chu and Huamin, "This is a reinforced platoon. There are more than 50 of them. They are soldiers stationed nearby. Although their firepower is not particularly strong, it is more than enough to deal with He Yongjun and Xinjiani. You guys don't have to worry." Okay. Qin Chu nodded. Then, he looked at his watch and realized that a few hours had passed. He didn't say anything. Instead, he took out a few egg yolk pies from his backpack and handed them to Huamin. "Mian, eat some first. Fill your stomach, or else you'll feel uncomfortable." Qin Chu looked at Huamin gently. "Honey, if you're not hungry, eat less. Treat it as a snack. Good girl, listen to me. I'll call Su Yu and ask about the situation in Qinghe town." After speaking, Qin Chu touched Huamin's face lovingly. Then he turned around and picked up his phone to call Su Yu. Chapter 2755. Hello? Su Yu, are you guys in Qinghe town yet? Huamin leaned against the police car and forced herself to eat the egg yolk pie that Mr. Qin brought for her. She reached out and touched her belly. She was so depressed recently. How was the baby in her belly? Had it grown a little? After a while, Qin Chu hung up the phone and walked back. "Honey, did you get the baby?" Huamin immediately asked. "Not yet. Zhang Manlin hasn't arrived in Qinghe town yet." "How could this be? Did something go wrong?" Huamin's expression was terrible. "No, don't worry, Min. Qinghe town is Zhang Manlin's only way. She has no other way out and will definitely pass by Qinghe town. Qinghe town is guarded by Su Yu, Tang Chuan, and Ning Ning. There are also many police officers guarding the town. Even a fly would have a hard time flying in, let alone a living person." Qin Chu comforted Huamin. "I hope the babies are okay." As she spoke, Huamin leaned on Qin Chu's shoulder and began crying again. Perhaps it was because pregnant women tended to be emotional. Huamin was physically and mentally exhausted and looked very fragile. Even Gao Ran couldn't stand it anymore. "Huamin, go rest in the car. There's hot water inside and it's too cold outside." "There's nothing you can do outside." Before Huamin could speak, a loud noise came from the mountains. "What's that sound?" Gao Ran turned his head and his expression changed drastically. Then he saw a few police officers run out in panic. "Platoon leader, the criminal had explosives on him. Our people were injured. Contact the hospital immediately." Platoon leader Zhang Bin was also very anxious. "I told you that they had explosives on them. Why didn't you be more careful?" Gao Ran felt bad when he heard that someone was injured. "Chief Gao, we've been very careful, but that criminal is too cunning. He didn't throw the explosives out directly, but buried them. We couldn't see them at all." A young armed police officer replied, feeling wronged. "Fuck, you want to play mind warfare with me?" Gao Ran was furious. "Chief Gao, what should we do now? Should we find a demoning expert?" Platoon leader Zhang Bin was also at a loss. They are just the armed police force. Their usual anti-terrorism measures are just for show. They have never experienced anything like this before. So, he asked for Gao Ran's opinion. "If you want a demoning expert, you'll have to transfer him from the province." "It's too late, too late. He Yongjun will run away." Gao Ran gritted his teeth and said. He had read He Yongjun's information. He was a very cunning person who was good at smuggling. He could come and go as he pleased in a place like Vietnam where dragons and snakes mingled. Therefore, they couldn't let their guard down. "I know how to demine. Let me do it." Qin Chu took off his black casual jacket and put it in his hand. Then he walked out from behind Gao Ran. Gao Ran didn't expect Qin Chu to step up at this time. However, he knew that Mr. Qin was never one to brag. If he said he knew how to demine, then he definitely knew how to do it. I'm going to demine. You guys follow behind me, that way it'll be fine. Qin Chu looked at platoon leader Zhang Bin and said, No, I don't agree. Huamin threw the egg yolk pie in his hand onto the ground. He jogged over and grabbed Qin Chu's hand. Huamin. Qin Chu's tone was gentle. He wanted to coax Huamin. I said no, I can't let you take the risk. He Yongjun doesn't play by the rules. We can't take the risk. Huamin's attitude was firm. Then what do we do now? Platoon leader Zhang was also at a loss. Chapter 2756. Huamin. Qin Chu tried to convince Huamin. However, Huamin interrupted him. I have an idea. What idea? Gao Ran came over curiously. He knew that Huamin had always been smart. Doesn't he Yongjun like to play with landmines? Then we can give him a taste of his own medicine, Huamin said. Platoon leader Zhang was confused, and so was Gao Ran. Even Qin Chu immediately understood Huamin's intention. Mian, you want to use explosives? Yes. Huamin nodded. But we didn't bring any explosives. Plus, we're not allowed to bring explosives when we're on a mission. If we go back to the army to apply, it'll take a long time to get approval from the higher-ups. It'll still be a waste of time. Platoon leader Zhang didn't think Huamin's idea was good. No need, I can make it on the spot, Huamin said calmly. What? Platoon leader Zhang's mouth opened wide. I said, I can make explosives on the spot for you to use, Huamin repeated. Oh my God, your wife is going to heaven. Gao Ran glanced at Qin Chu. Qin Chu, on the other hand, had a proud look on his face. He put his arm around Huamin's shoulder and said, My wife is a genius. Yes, if you want to say that, no one will argue with you. Gao Ran nodded in agreement. Is this reliable? Platoon leader Zhang didn't know Huamin. He only knew that she was the mother of the kidnapped child and was also Director Gao's friend. How could a woman who looked so weak do such a dangerous thing? Don't doubt her, she's the director of the hospital and a genius of the medical school. Gao Ran felt that even if Huamin said that he could make an atomic bomb, he would not be surprised. This was because Huamin and Qin Chu were the same. They were both people who didn't know how to brag. They never dared to say anything that wasn't reliable. Since I've said it, I'll definitely do it. This is something that ordinary women can't compare to. Even Jiang Shaowei gave him a thumbs up, but the area in the mountain is very big, the explosives I have won't be enough. Platoon leader Zhang looked at the terrain analysis in the depths of the mountain. It's okay. I'll make as many explosives as you want, Huamin said confidently. This time, it was platoon leader Zhang's turn to be speechless. Mian, you're going to use gasoline and beer, right? Qin Chu was also a medical student, so he knew what his wife was thinking. Yes. Huamin nodded. I had the same idea as you, but gasoline and beer bottles are limited in power. I'm afraid it won't be enough to intimidate He Yongjun. Qin Chu also had his own doubts. Therefore, he thought that it would be better to just clear the mines. After all, based on their current analysis, He Yongjun wouldn't have a lot of explosives on him. However, Huamin didn't want Qin Chu to take the risk. She would rather start making large quantities of explosives. Just as Qin Chu said, she used a lot of gasoline from the car. Gasoline was a flammable and explosive liquid. Then, she put it in a glass bottle and it became a very simple explosive. She lit it with a lighter and it went up into the air with a bang. Huamin and Qin Chu led a group of armed police to work on the explosives. It didn't take long for them to finish. Everyone brought the explosives into the mountain again to search for He Yongjun and Shunjiani's hiding place. Just then, Huamin turned around and took out a small white bag from her bag. Huamin, what are you doing? Gao Ran curiously leaned over to take a look. A big gift for the two bastards who kidnapped my daughter, Huamin said calmly. Then, Huamin skillfully poured the white powder into the glass bottle and mixed it with gasoline. Chapter 2757. Qin Chu, your wife is showing her power. Gao Ran was speechless. Yeah, don't hold back. Honey, use your talents. If anything happens, I'll take care of it for you. Qin Chu quietly fanned the flames. Gao Ran was speechless upon hearing this. Platoon leader Zhang Bin didn't say a word. He didn't dare to get involved because his superiors told him that this mission was very special. The parents of the missing children were very important people and couldn't be messed with. Even Gao Ran, the director of the Municipal Public Security Bureau, was a few ranks higher than him, not to mention this mysterious couple who looked a little strange. Wait, Huamin, don't be impulsive. I know you hate those two people, but it's not good to blow them up, right? Gao Ran thought that Huamin was going to kill He Yongjun and Xinjiani in one fell swoop. So, he tried to persuade Huamin not to be impulsive. Huamin didn't say anything. He lowered his head and continued to fiddle with the machine, looking very serious. Huamin, I'm serious, let's not joke around. What I mean is, you can blow up their arms and legs, but I'll be able to report back to my superiors if they're still alive. Don't worry, these two bastards will be locked up for the rest of their lives. Gao Ran continued to persuade him. Huamin still didn't say anything. Qin Chu didn't know what he was thinking. Qin Chu, help me persuade your wife. Don't be impulsive. Impulsiveness is the devil. Finally, Gao Ran stood up helplessly and turned to Qin Chu for help. My wife likes devils. Mr. Qin was extremely protective of his wife. Gao Ran. Just as Gao Ran was speechless, Huamin stood up and took out a small glass bottle. The liquid inside was light purple. Don't worry, I won't directly take their lives. I know what I'm doing. Huamin said. Hey, that's good. You should have said so earlier. Someone, bring this explosive into the mountains. Wait a minute. Huamin stopped them. What? Is there anything else we need to pay attention to? Gao Ran had never had enough of watching Huamin develop explosives. Therefore, they weren't sure what kind of firepower it was. If only Suyu was here. Suyu had seen Huamin bring liquid explosives to Huasiqian with his own eyes. The firepower left Suyu flabbergasted. Of course you have to be careful. This thing doesn't have to be too close to He Yongjun and the others. It'll be effective within a radius of 10 li, Huamin said. Fuck? Within a radius of 10 li? You're not blowing people up, you're blowing up mountains. Vice Director Hua. Gao Ran was once again dumbfounded. Let me finish, don't worry. The firepower of this explosive isn't that great, but after it explodes, it will release a chemical gas. So, after we detonate it, we need to quickly evacuate with gas masks. The rest is easy. He Yongjun and Xinjiani will be powerless within 5 minutes once they smell the gas. That's amazing. Gao Ran seemed to be a little skeptical. Well, why don't you try it first? Huamin asked him back. No, I was just asking. Did you guys hear what Vice Director Hua said? Gao Ran asked the two armed police officers holding the explosives. Yes. Then go, let's get this over with quickly, Gao Ran ordered. When the armed police officers brought the explosives into the depths of the mountains again, it was much easier. They detonated the simple explosives developed by Huamin according to Qin Chu's deployment location. Then, they blew up the explosives that He Yongjun had previously buried, deep in the mountains, behind a huge rock. Xinjiani trembled as she grabbed He Yongjun's clothes. Big Brother Jun, what should we do? They seem to have destroyed all our explosives. Chapter 2758. He Yongjun looked at the sky and said calmly, Don't be afraid. It's going to be dark soon. If we hide, they won't be able to find us. I heard that military dogs are very powerful. Xinjiani said worriedly, thinking about some military programs she had seen on TV. Don't worry. It's all gunpowder here. Military dogs won't be able to sense us. He Yongjun didn't seem to care about the armed police. He was used to hiding from place to place. He already had a rich anti-reconnaissance ability. It would be very difficult for ordinary people to catch him. It was going to be dark soon. It would be very difficult to catch him in the dark mountains. He Yongjun was good at mountain roads, so he could continue to run in the dark with Xinjiani. By the time the sun rose, the two of them would probably be on another mountain. They would have to abandon all their electronic devices. They wouldn't even be able to locate them. He Yongjun was indeed cunning. But he didn't expect Huamin to have a countermeasure. Inside the military car, Qin Chu put his arm around Huamin's shoulder and helped her into the back seat of the car. Then, he took off his clothes and covered her legs with them. It's very cold in the mountains at night. You have to be careful not to catch a cold, Qin Chu said. Huamin nodded. If I'm not wrong, there's ammonium nitrate in it, right? Huamin smiled and nodded. He was indeed her husband. He knew her well. But if it's just ammonium nitrate, it can't be that color. So I think there's a special imported chemical from your hospital, WT2, Qin Chu guessed. You're right. Guess what the poisonous gas is? That's easy. It's made of ether and anesthetic. One makes people unconscious, and the other makes people immobile. Humph. You guessed it. It's not fun. Huamin pouted. By the way, when did you bring these things? How come I didn't notice? Qin Chu really didn't notice that Huamin had so much synthetic chemical powder on him. When I first received the news that they were hiding in the mountains, I thought that since He Yongjun was a sly old man, it wouldn't be easy to catch him. So, I brought some with me, thinking that they might come in handy. Well, my wife is still so smart. Who said that pregnancy makes a woman stupid for 3 years? I don't think she's stupid at all. Instead, she's grown a lot. Qin Chu praised. Pudding and Little Bean are already 3.5 years old. 3 years of pregnancy is over, okay? I'm back to full health now, but... Huamin was just about to say, I'm going to enter the stage of pregnancy stupidity again. But when the words were about to come out of his mouth, he held them back. But what? Seeing that Huamin had stopped talking halfway, Qin Chu was anxious. Nothing. Honey, I'm a little thirsty. Can you get me a cup of hot water? Huamin changed the subject. Qin Chu immediately turned around and went to get the water. Huamin was glad that Qin Chu was by her side no matter how difficult the situation was. He took care of her all the time. The only thing she hoped for was that the children would come back safely. That was her only wish right now. Huamin put her hand on her belly and said softly, Baby, be good. Pray for your sisters to come back safely, okay? In the Qinghe mountain village, when the kidnappers were drinking, the leader suddenly said, Go, bring the 2 kids out. We should ask for the phone number of their billionaire father. Chapter 2759. Okay, big brother. One of the drunken lackeys went to the warehouse and brought out the twins who were locked inside. They were tied up with ropes. Sis, what should we do? Little Bean panicked. It's okay. Don't be afraid, Little Bean. I used to be the one negotiating, but this time, it's your turn. What? Little Bean was surprised. The henchman was drunk and didn't pay attention to the conversation between the 2 kids. He just held the rope and walked forward. I can't be the one doing this every time. After all, you need to learn some survival skills. Sis, please let me go. How can you let me do an experiment at a time like this? What if I don't do it well and that man kills us both? Little Bean didn't dare to make such a big decision. I believe you have the ability to keep us safe. Little Bean looked at her sister with confidence. No, I don't even believe in myself. Sis, you should do it. You're good with words and you're smart. No, I won't say anything. You have to train yourself. You'll be the one doing the talking. Otherwise, we'll be killed. Little Bean didn't know what to do. Little Bean was about to say something when the henchman turned around and scolded her. You 2 brats, don't talk nonsense. Be quiet. When you see my big brother, you'll answer whatever he asks you. Otherwise, you'll suffer. Just like that, the 2 kids were brought to the man called Big Brother Hai. Big brother, they're here. Hey, Big Beard, I want to talk to you alone. Little Bean gathered her courage and looked at the man called Big Brother Hai. Big Beard? Big Brother Hai was surprised. The henchmen touched themselves and found that only their big brother had a beard. Big brother, this brat is calling you, one of the henchmen said. Brat, how can you talk to my big brother like that? The other henchman was angry and raised his hand to hit Little Bean. However, he was stopped by the man called Brother Hai. He laughed and stood up. Big Beard, this name is not bad. I do have a lot of beard. But, you child, you look young but you are quite brave, aren't you? How old are you? 3.5, Little Bean answered without hesitation. Only 3.5 years old? You're so young. Are you twins? Big Brother Hai looked at Little Bean and then at Pudding. If they're not twins, why would they look so alike? Isn't that obvious? Little Bean retorted. "Oh kid, you're quite aggressive. This is not being aggressive. This is called being arrogant. Do you understand? Our family's genes are like this. My grandparents are arrogant, and so is my aunt. My daddy and mommy are the kings of arrogance, so when it comes to me and my sister, we can't admit defeat." Big Beard was stunned by Little Bean's words. "Let me ask you, are you really only 3 years old?" The bearded man questioned. "Do you want me to show you my birth certificate?" Little Bean replied confidently. "That won't be necessary. Actually, I don't care how old you are. What I care about now is the two of you. Hurry up and tell me how to contact your father or mother. Landline numbers are fine too. Contact them immediately. We want the ransom." "What if we don't tell you?" Little Bean asked. "If you don't tell me, then you won't have a good ending. You know, I don't want to bully kids." Big Brother Hai smiled and answered Little Bean. Chapter 2760. But you've already bullied her. "You're bullying a 3.5-year-old child," Little Bean said. "Big Brother Hai, cut the crap. Hurry up and tell us your phone number. Let's not waste time." The twins looked at each other, speechless. Big Brother Hai gave his subordinate a look. One of his subordinates immediately took out a kitchen knife. Then he took out a dead chicken from nowhere. In front of the twins, he chopped it. They thought that the child would immediately break down and cry when she saw this scene. Then she would tell them her phone number. Who knew? The twins looked calmly at the man chopping the chicken with disdain in their eyes. "Are you acting funny?" Pudding asked. "Little brat, let me tell you. If you don't tell us your phone number, you'll end up like this," the subordinate said fiercely. Unexpectedly, Little Bean walked over and snatched the kitchen knife from his hand. Then he aimed at the dead chicken's neck. With a loud clang, he ruthlessly chopped the chicken's head off. The burly men had never seen such a scene before. They were dumbfounded. Pudding, on the other hand, was very calm because Little Bean was famous for her courage. When she first learned how to walk, she played with a snake with her bare hands. Even the maids at home were shocked. Therefore, chopping a chicken, especially a dead chicken, was a piece of cake for Little Bean. Big Brother Hai, this child, is very fierce. The subordinate was ashamed of his inferiority. "You guys are really a bunch of trash. You can't even scare a child. I fucking raised you for nothing. So, what other tricks do you have? Hurry up and use them." Little Bean threw the kitchen knife on the ground. The back of the knife hit the foot of the man chopping the chicken, causing him to immediately cover his foot. "Not bad, child. You're brave. You're born to be a bandit. How about this? You can be my goddaughter. You wish. You want to be my godfather? Do you think you're worthy?" Little Bean looked down on the man called Big Brother Hai. "Stupid girl, what are you talking about? You're asking for a beating." The men behind her couldn't stand it anymore and wanted to step forward. But he was stopped by Big Brother Hai. "Scram, none of you are allowed to touch her. I like this child. If only she were my biological daughter, I would definitely give her my entire empire. She is a natural-born bandit. Art, stop daydreaming. Let's get down to business. Big Beard, let's talk." "Sure, what do you want to talk about?" Big Brother Hai liked this chubby little girl more and more, so he was naturally interested in her words. "There are too many people here. Let's talk inside." Little Bean looked around. "Alright, I want to see how capable you are. You want to negotiate with me? You really want to go to heaven?" Big Brother Hai laughed and waved his hand to dismiss his men. He also signaled for someone to take Pudding to the side. "Sister, I will think of a way to deal with Big Beard. Wait for me, don't be afraid," Pudding said in a low voice when they walked past her. Pudding nodded. In the house, the bearded man leaned against the chair with a toothpick in his hand and looked at the little guy in front of him. "Alright, let's talk now. Big Beard, you know who my daddy is, right?" "Sort of. I heard your daddy is very rich, the bearded man said. Yes, he is very rich, but he is also very fierce, especially to his enemies. So, Big Beard, do you think you can get away with the ransom if you take my sister and me? You know that if my daddy wants to kill someone, it's easier than killing an ant, Little Bean said calmly. Are you trying to scare me? Do you think I'm scared? The bearded man laughed. Chapter 2761. Scare you? No. I, Chin Mumu, would never do something as cowardly as scaring people. Big Beard, I'm serious. You have to listen carefully, or you'll regret it. Little Bean's face was unprecedentedly serious. Although she was definitely very nervous in her heart, since her elder sister had given her such an important task, she definitely couldn't embarrass herself. In the past, people often said that Pudding was so smart that she took after her parents. Every time, Little Bean would feel awkward. She was actually very smart, but she was always overshadowed by her sister's brilliance. I'm listening carefully. Grogon. Big Beard really liked this little thing. So, he didn't show any impatience. In other words, if you take the ransom, even if you're lucky enough to escape, you won't be able to stay in the country. Think about it, the country is cracking down on the most wanted criminals. Now that the tickets are registered, it'll be hard for you to survive. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in the mountains after taking 1 billion yuan? Little Bean spread out her hands and made a hypothesis. Big Beard nodded. You're right, but we can go abroad and have fun. Abroad? Little Bean sneered. You what? Big Beard was confused. Do you think it's easy to live abroad? Iraq, Syria, and Pakistan are all at war all year round. Why would I go there? If I want to go, I'll go to Canada or the US, Big Beard quibbled. Big Beard, I'm not looking down on you, but tell me the truth. Have you been to the US? Little Bean asked seriously. Have you been there? Big Beard asked back, unconvinced. Little Bean looked proud. Of course. My grandparents lived in the US, and so did my second grandpa and aunt. My sister and I have been there before, so we know the situation there. The US is a legalized country, and there are shootings on the streets at any time. If you don't have bodyguards, the gangs there can bully Chinese. You guys don't even know how to speak a foreign language. Do you think it's easy to go abroad? Also, do you know why I don't like the US? Little Bean asked. I don't know. The bearded man was already brainwashed by Little Bean, so he followed Little Bean's train of thought very smoothly. That's because there's too little good food in the States. You'll puke if you eat hamburgers, cola, and chicken wings all day long. Let me tell you, even the steak is half done when it's served. It's not like China, where there are so many different cuisines. If you want to eat dumplings, you have dumplings, pies, and red bean buns. You're lying to me. I watch movies too. There's a Chinatown and a Chinese restaurant there. The bearded man continued to quibble. That's right, but the things in there are extremely expensive. Even the Laogan Ma that is sold in Chinese supermarkets is a few dozen bottles. Can you afford it? Damn it, it's so expensive. Is this daylight robbery? The bearded man was completely influenced by Little Bean. Of course. What do you think? That's why I said, don't think of overseas as paradise. It's not that easy. So, what should I do? The bearded man was unsure of what to do after hearing Little Bean's words. Chapter 2762. He grew up in the mountains and never went to school. He relied on a group of brothers to survive. They ate and drank. Usually, they would go to the small town to ask for some protection money. When they grew up, they thought about building a bandit's nest here. Although it was called a bandit's nest, Big Brother Hai and the others didn't do anything big or evil. It was just that there were some good cars coming and going. They would rob them and get some money to spend. This time, there was actually a reason for the car robbery. It was because in this group of brothers, there was a guy called Ariai who was in a relationship with a girl from Wang Village. Then, the girl wanted 100,000 yuan as a gift. Otherwise, she wouldn't agree to the marriage. According to Big Brother Hai's plan, he would forcefully marry her and directly kidnap her. However, Ariai felt that he really loved her and didn't want to wrong the girl, so he wanted to rely on himself to get 100,000 yuan. Therefore, the few of them thought about it and went all out to do a big job. They didn't expect to meet such a big money tree in the first round. To be honest, Big Brother Hai and the others hadn't seen much of the world. When Zhang Manlin finished talking to them, they were excited. However, they couldn't suppress the nervousness and fear in their hearts. One had to know that if they were caught by the police for carjacking and stealing money, they would at most be sentenced to a few years. If it was more serious, it would be more than 10 years. However, if it was a kidnapping, the mood would be different. Although they were a group of boorish people and didn't know much about the law, they watched a lot of TV and knew that it was a big crime. Now that they heard Little Bean say this, they felt even more scared. I have a good idea. It's up to you whether you accept it or not, Little Bean said. Tell me, I'm listening. Big Beard, what do you think of me? Little Bean asked. You have guts. I really like you. Otherwise, would I let you be my goddaughter? Big Brother Hai had a high opinion of her. Don't talk nonsense with me. What I mean is, although I'm a child, do you think I'm smart? Yes, a prodigy. Big Brother Hai had never seen a 3-year-old child who could speak so much and make so much sense. If he saw a child like Little Bean in the depths of the mountains, he would think that she was a ginseng child who had become a spirit. So, my words have some authority, right? Little Bean continued to pave the way for her. All right, go ahead. I'll listen first. Big Brother Hai seemed to be quite serious. Big Beard, let me show you the way. Since you didn't hurt or mistreat my sister and me, as long as you inform my daddy and ask him to come and pick us up, you guys will be our saviors this time. When we get home safely, not only will we not call the police to arrest you, I can also ask my daddy to settle all the small things you guys did in the past and let bygones be bygones. Also, my daddy will give each of you a house in Sea City, a car for each of you, and most importantly, a job for each of you. Do you know why I'm giving you jobs? Little Bean asked. The bearded man shook his head, looking very confused. According to the ancient books, it is better to teach a man how to fish than to give him fish. It means, it is better to teach you how to fish than to give you fish directly. You will eat all the fish I give you one day. However, if I teach you how to fish, you will be able to catch a lot of fish. At that time, you will have an endless supply of fish. Which one do you think is more appropriate? As Little Bean spoke, she extended her chubby finger and poked the bearded man's nose. So, you're giving us jobs for our own good? The bearded man seemed to understand after hearing Little Bean's words. Chapter 2763. Of course, I can ask Daddy to give you money. But, if he gives you money and you squander it, what will happen in the future? So, why don't I find you stable jobs? You're not young anymore. What era is this? Don't take over the mountain and call yourself king. That's so childish. You're like cavemen. So, if you're willing to do this, I'll arrange a good job for each of you. Then, you won't have to worry about food and clothing for the rest of your lives. The most important thing is that you can leave this place. That's a good idea. But how can I trust you? Big Beard looked at Little Bean and asked. Because you have no choice. It's up to you whether you want to go to heaven or hell. Also, don't blame me for not reminding you. Do you think you can live to spend 1 billion yuan? Do you know what it means to be unlucky? Little Bean's words pierced the bearded man's heart. Big Beard, if you don't trust me, then you can't trust Zhang Manlin. Zhang Manlin? You mean that woman? Big Beard froze. Do you know what our relationship is with her? She said she's also the one who caught you. Big Beard vaguely remembered Zhang Manlin saying this before. That's right. That woman is indeed a bad person. She also wants to catch us. But she's different from you. You're only after money. Wants to kill me and my sister. Huh? No way? Big Beard obviously felt that Little Bean's words were a bit ridiculous. Don't you see that she's a woman who had plastic surgery? That's true. When the light flashes, the bridge of the nose becomes transparent. That's what they say on TV. Many female celebrities have plastic surgery or something. In my opinion, after they have plastic surgery, they are not as good looking as the girls in the villages below. The bearded man lamented. Not only did she have plastic surgery, but she also purposely made herself look like our mommy. She wanted to seduce daddy. This kind of scheming bitch is the worst. My sister and I taught her a lesson before, so she holds a grudge. This time, she caught us and instigated you to kidnap us. When the police come, she'll be the victim and you'll be the scapegoat for her. Fuck. Big Beard finally understood. Now that I put it this way, you should understand a little, right? I didn't think too much about it. Now that you mention it, this woman isn't a good person. The bearded man didn't like Zhang Manlin to begin with. Hearing Little Bean's words, he got even angrier. Zhang Manlin wants to kill two birds with one stone. She wants to get rid of us and get rid of you. Unfortunately, my sister and I won't let her get away with it. Big Beard, we don't have much time left. Either you listen to me and tell my dad, or you listen to Zhang Manlin and kidnap us for ransom. I'll give you the phone number, but how you tell my dad is your choice. You can become our family's savior in an instant and accept my dad's reward with a clear conscience. Or, you can become the most wanted criminal overnight and run for your life with the money. Or, you can be shot dead by the police before you get the money. It's your choice. This matter? No, it's a bit messy. I need to think about it. The bearded man had no idea what to do after hearing Little Bean's words. Okay, you can think about it for one night. Give me an answer tomorrow morning. There's something else I want to tell you secretly. Little Bean hooked her finger and said mysteriously to the bearded man. Big Beard actually came over obediently and followed Little Bean's command. Chapter 2764. After Little Bean and Big Brother Hai finished talking, they were sent back to the warehouse. But before they could sit down, their subordinates moved them to another place. This time, they were changed to a comfortable room and treated like VIPs. Big Brother Hai said to treat you too well. After saying that, the man left some warm meat buns, fruits, and water and left. Looks like the negotiation went well. Pudding looked at the treatment and knew that Little Bean and Big Brother Hai must have finished talking. Of course, if Little Bean went out, nothing would grow within 100 miles. Stop bragging. Talk properly. How did it go? Did he agree? Pudding asked. He didn't agree. He said he'll think about it for a night. But I think he'll agree. I've already analyzed the pros and cons. As long as he's not an idiot, he'll know what to choose. I think it's about time. All right, the two of you can eat and sleep without worry. Tomorrow, you'll see Daddy and Mommy. Pudding stretched lazily and brought the food over. The two girls seemed to be in a good mood. They ate meat buns and fruits. On the other hand, Zhang Manlin wasn't so lucky. She was locked in a cold and damp basement. Although it was called a basement, it was actually a cellar to store cabbage. It was full of the smell of rotten vegetables and rats. Zhang Manlin was so scared that she curled up in a corner and didn't dare to move. At this time, the sky gradually darkened. A man with a flashlight quietly came to the basement. Who is it? Zhang Manlin trembled in fear. Don't talk. If you don't want to die, shut up. Then, the man slowly approached her. Then, a pair of big hands wandered around her body. Big brother, please do me a favor and let me go. After you get the ransom, you can have any woman you want. Zhang Manlin knew what the man was going to do, so she tried to persuade him. Don't talk nonsense. Let me feel good first. I haven't tasted a woman in a long time. I can't wait to get the ransom. Plus, if you're with me, I'll treat you well. After saying that, the man kissed her in the dark. Zhang Manlin wanted to fight back, but she felt a dagger at her waist. If you move again, I'll stab you, the man threatened fiercely. Zhang Manlin was afraid of death, so she was too scared to move. She closed her eyes and reluctantly cooperated. Half an hour later, the man pulled up his pants and said with some surprise, I didn't expect you to be a virgin. I thought that the women in your city had already been slept to death. Zhang Manlin gritted her teeth and sat up. Enduring the pain, she straightened her collar. She wanted to kill this man, but she didn't dare to say anything. Don't worry, I'm not a heartless person. Since you gave me your first time, I'll definitely give you something after we get the ransom. Of course, if you're willing to follow me, you can always follow me. This man was one of Big Brother Hai's underlings. His nickname was Slippery Head. Because he had a lot of ideas and thoughts, everyone called him Slippery Head. While everyone was drunk and asleep, he couldn't resist the temptation. So, he went to the basement and raped Zhang Manlin. But after all, he was from the mountains and had a simple personality. So, after he raped her and found out that it was her first time, he wanted compensation. Big brother, I don't want money or compensation. Just do something for me. Zhang Manlin deliberately coaxed the man. Chapter 2765. Do you want me to let you go now? No, the boss won't agree. Even if you want to leave, you have to wait until we've dealt with the 2 kids. Otherwise, who knows if you'll tip him off. Trickster looked at Zhang Manlin cautiously and said slowly, "It's not about that. I know it's too hard for you to let me go." Zhang Manlin pretended to be understanding. Trickster relaxed a little after hearing this. He relaxed and hugged her. As long as it's not about that, everything else is fine. After all, you're my woman now. Then, Trickster leaned over and kissed Zhang Manlin on the lips. Zhang Manlin resisted the urge to vomit. She never thought that one day she would be bullied by a gangster. It's about the 2 kids. Let me ask you, what are you going to do with them? After you get the ransom, will you kill them or... Kill them? I haven't thought about that yet. Let's see what the boss wants. But I don't think he'll do that. Don't be fooled by his fierce look. He's not a bad person. We haven't hurt anyone in the past few years, so it's unlikely that he'll kill the 2 kids. Even Trickster felt that it was enough to get the money. Why would they kill the kids? After all, the 2 kids were still young and looked quite cute. That's where you're wrong. That's what I want to talk about. After you get the ransom, you must kill the 2 kids, Zhang Manlin said mysteriously. Why? Because think about it. They've seen your faces. It'll be easy for the police to arrest you in the future. But the boss said that the kid's father is very powerful. If that's the case, we won't be able to escape even if we kill the kids. The kid's father will come after us, Trickster refuted Zhang Manlin. You can't think like that. Let me put it this way. We're in the same boat now. Because I exposed their identities, the 2 kids see me as an enemy. And you guys, you've kidnapped them for so long. Even if you don't kill them, the kid's father won't let you go. So, I think it's better for you guys to get rid of the roots. Zhang Manlin continued to instigate Trickster. Actually, one of the reasons she hated the twins was because she was afraid that if the twins returned safely, then they would definitely tell Qin Chu that she was the one who revealed the twins' identity. At that time, wouldn't Qin Chu have a bad impression of him? They might even be dealt with by Huamin and the others. If that was the case, they might as well go all the way and kill the 2 children. At that time, Zhang Manlin could insist that she was also a victim. She wanted to save the child but failed. In this case, whether it was the police or Qin Chu, they had no reason to suspect her. Hearing Zhang Manlin's words, Trickster hesitated. Those 2 children are too young. I really don't have the heart to kill them. How can a person like you do great things? You're so soft-hearted. Don't forget, you're a kidnapper, not a charity. Zhang Manlin looked at the man in front of her with disappointment. She thought he was a complete loser. I can't make the decision. It's up to the boss. I have an idea. Just listen to me. Zhang Manlin didn't seem to give up so easily and continued to persuade the man in front of her. Chapter 2766. What idea? Trickster looked at Zhang Manlin in confusion. After you get the ransom, if your boss asks you to let them go, just go. When the time comes, you can just put the 2 children into a bag and throw them into the sea. After that, you can go back and get your share of the money. Then you can go far away. Hearing this, Trickster looked at Zhang Manlin suspiciously. Of course, I can't stay here any longer. The police will definitely arrest me. I have nowhere else to go in my current state, so I think that as long as you help me do this, I'll feel at ease and go with you. When the time comes, we'll go to a new place, a place where no one knows us, and start anew. Then, Zhang Manlin deliberately winked at Trickster to seduce him. Will you really go with me? No matter how smart a man was, once he fell into a woman's trap, he would still become irrational. Of course, I'm already yours. I have nowhere else to go. You'll take me with you, right? Zhang Manlin smiled sweetly and held the man's arm in front of her. Yes, I may not have studied for many years, but I'm not a heartless man. Since you're with me, I'll definitely take responsibility. Trickster was touched by Zhang Manli's beautiful wish. So, you promise me, right? Zhang Manlin asked worriedly. But do we have to kill the 2 kids? Trickster still couldn't make up his mind. If they don't die, there will be endless trouble. Listen to me, I won't cheat you. I know the parents too well. Zhang Manlin tried to scare Trickster again. Okay, then it's settled for now. We'll talk about it when I get the money. Okay, you must tell your boss when the time comes. You'll send the kids back. Okay. Trickster nodded, his heart heavy. Then I'll go back first. The boss will be looking for me soon. How long do I have to stay here? It's so dark here and there are rats. I'm so scared. Zhang Manlin whined. Trickster couldn't bear it. To be honest, although he wasn't a virgin, he had slept with prostitutes before. This was the first time he slept with a prostitute, and it was his first time too. So, there was a subtle change in his heart. His sense of responsibility was bursting. How about this? You follow me up first. You can stay in my room, but I still have to tie your hands and feet. Is that okay? Otherwise, my brothers will be suspicious. Okay. Zhang Manlin nodded obediently. But don't worry, our boss will definitely settle this matter today. When that time comes, you will be free. All right. Just like that, Trickster led Zhang Manlin out of the basement and into his room. Zhang Manlin's hands and feet were tied up, so there was no way she could run. Even if she wanted to, she couldn't. If she ran out now, she would definitely be suspected by the police. Therefore, she had to stay and continue to play the victim, the same victim as the twins, so that she could wash away the suspicion. Early morning, the criminals were having breakfast together. Trickster was the latest to arrive. Brat, why did you only wake up now? Did you drink so little last night? One of them asked. I overslept. Trickster picked up a steamed bun and put it near his mouth. Then he stole a glance at Big Brother Hai and asked, Boss, what are we going to do with those 2 kids? After we get the ransom, do we kill them or? Chapter 2767. Why are you asking? Big Brother Hai raised his head and glanced at Trickster. I'm just asking. I have my own ideas on this matter. You don't have to worry about it. Big Brother, when should we make the call? Didn't the 2 brats give us their father's phone number? Leave it to me. I'm most willing to ask people for money. An unreliable subordinate took the initiative to raise his hand. You can't even speak clearly and you still want to ask the big boss for money, Big Brother Hai scolded. Hee. Right, Big Brother, how much money do we want? 1 billion? My God, I've never seen so much money in my life. How am I going to spend it? 1 billion? We have a total of 6 people here. The 5 of us only need 100 million each. Big Brother has taken care of us for the past few years and has contributed the most. Big Brother, you'll get 500 million. Do you have any objections? Another brother asked jokingly. Of course not. It's settled then. Big Brother, 500 million. The rest of us will get 100 million each. Big Brother Hai saw this scene and to be honest, he wasn't excited. He suddenly thought of what the kids said last night. So much money. Do you have the life to spend it? Yes, sometimes having too much money wasn't a good thing. He was afraid that he would meet with unexpected disasters. Big Brother, what are you thinking about? You look troubled. It's nothing. After you guys finish eating, hurry up and get to work. 2 of you go and watch the 2 children. 2 of you go and watch the woman. And you, Crafty, go and stand guard at the door. Keep an eye on it and see if there's any movement outside. Don't let our nest be destroyed without us knowing. After breakfast, everyone dispersed. Big Brother Hai sat on a chair and closed his eyes to rest. When it came to deciding one's own fate, one would appear indecisive. Big Brother Hai himself was a small-time hooligan. Therefore, if he was asked to do a big business, he didn't have the confidence to do it well. He repeatedly thought about what the kids said last night. The brothers in front of him had been with him for a few years. They were all poor people in the nearby villages. It wasn't easy for them. If they weren't forced, no one would be willing to do this kind of shady business. On the other hand, he took the money and was being hunted down. He ran away with the name of a wanted criminal, which was shameful. Even if they left the country, it might not be heaven. A group of uncouth villagers would definitely not be used to living in a foreign country, especially the language. On the other hand, he could be a good person and call the child's father to pick him up. Then, he could accept the gift from the child's father. Of course, it sounded like the second option was better and safer, but the problem now was, how could he trust that child? She believed that when they returned, the child's parents would not turn hostile and send them to the police station. That was the key. The trust between people was actually very fragile. On the other side, the explosives developed by Huamin finally forced Yongjun and Xinjiani out of hiding in the depths of the mountain. Huamin's anesthetic was just right. They could not move, but they did not lose consciousness. Therefore, when the armed police soldiers escorted the two of them out, Xinjiani was surprised to see Huamin. "We finally caught them. Buzzard, you made me mobilize so many people. Everyone has worked hard." Gao Ran was gratified as he waved his hand at the soldiers who came to support this time. "Chief Gao, I'll hand them over to you now. You can directly escort them back." Platoon leader Zhang Bin said. "Okay, put them in the police car." Gao Ran waved his hand. "Wait a minute," Qin Chu suddenly said coldly. Chapter 2768. Everyone turned around and saw Qin Chu walk out from behind Gao Ran. Qin Chu's jacket had been draped over Huamin's shoulders, so Mr. Qin was only wearing a clean white shirt. Under the morning sunlight, his shirt was especially clear and bright. Qin Chu walked towards Yongjun without a word. When he was right in front of Yongjun, he punched Yongjun's abdomen without warning. Yongjun groaned, but it was obvious from his expression that he was in pain. "Qin Chu, what kind of ability are you? You even used the armed police to catch me. I really looked down on you." "So, what?" Qin Chu glanced at Yongjun's ferocious face indifferently. "Do you dare to fight me one-on-one?" Yongjun licked his lips and asked provocatively. "With you?" Qin Chu curled his lips in disdain. "What? You don't dare?" Yongjun continued to provoke him. "Are you sure?" Qin Chu asked back. "Of course. If you're a man, don't ask for help. Fight me one-on-one. We'll fight barehanded. If you lose, you'll let us go. Do you dare?" "What if you lose?" Qin Chu looked at Yongjun. "Then I'll let you do whatever you want to me." "Qin Chu, don't listen to him. What kind of bullshit bet is this? He has no right to negotiate. He's just an evil criminal. Go back to jail and eat cornbread." Gao Ran didn't want Qin Chu and Yongjun to fight. If Qin Chu lost, Yongjun would run away. Then all their efforts would be for nothing. If Qin Chu won and Yongjun said he could do whatever he wanted to him, what else could he do? Now that they had him, they could do whatever they wanted to him. Why would they risk fighting him? "It's okay. I'm interested. One-on-one, right? Come on." Mr. Qin slowly rolled up the sleeves of his white shirt and beckoned to Yongjun with his finger. "Qin Chu." Gao Ran seemed to want to persuade him. "Let him go. Let him come here." Qin Chu seemed to have given Gao Ran an order that could not be disobeyed. Growing up together, he knew his temper too well. Gao Ran only waved his hand to signal the two policemen to let go of Yongjun. Platoon leader Zhang Bin had originally wanted to leave with his men, but after seeing this good show, he actually wanted to stay and watch this duel. "Qin Chu, you really are a real man," Yongjun said with some admiration. "Cut the crap." Qin Chu coldly glanced at Yongjun. Huamin stood beside Gao Ran with a cup of hot water in her hand. Inside the cup was the hot water that Qin Chu had boiled for her in the morning. "Huamin, I think you should control your husband. He's too stubborn. I know what he wants to do. Let him do it. That's what I want." Huamin's gaze was fixed on Qin Chu's figure. You two are the best in the world. In the end, Gao Ran was convinced and didn't say anything else. Huamin had confidence in Mr. Qin. Not to mention a piece of trash like He Yongjun, even Huasiqian and Su Yu would be able to fight Qin Chu one-on-one. Huamin also felt that her husband wouldn't lose. This was a strong trust. He Yongjun rushed over like a mad dog. For his freedom, he had to use all his strength to defeat Qin Chu. With the mentality of burning all his boats, he rushed forward. Every move he made was deadly. On the other hand, Qin Chu's face was calm. He countered every move that came his way. First, he focused on defense, allowing He Yongjun to continuously attack. Chapter 2769. What's wrong with Chu? Why isn't he fighting back? Gao Ran was very anxious and kept muttering to himself. Huamin, tell me, what's your husband doing? Have you ever seen a cat kill a mouse in one bite? Most of them don't play for a while first. Huamin's example was very appropriate. I get it now. This guy is the blackest of black-bellied. Gao Ran suddenly realized. These few days, the disappearance of the twins had caused a lot of chaos in everyone's lives. Gao Ran hadn't slept well in a long time. Although someone brought him food, he still didn't have much of an appetite. Especially his brat Gao Buin, who was pulling a long face and didn't seem to be smiling at all. Now that the twins were back, everything was fine. The sky was clear after the storm. Seeing that He Yongjun had used up most of his strength, Qin Chu began to switch from defense to offense. He Yongjun was able to dodge at first, but later on, his footsteps were obviously weak and he couldn't move as much as he wanted to. Big brother Jun, be careful. Shen Jiani was still hoping that He Yongjun could beat Qin Chu. With Qin Chu's identity, he definitely kept his word, so she wanted to run away with He Yongjun. But how could things be so simple in this world? After a few hits, He Yongjun couldn't take it anymore. He knelt down on one knee and was beaten to a pulp by Qin Chu. This guy is so strong. The surrounding armed police couldn't help but exclaim. Platoon leader, can you tell what kind of move he is using? Is it karate? Someone asked platoon leader Zhang Bin. Zhang Bin shook his head. It doesn't look like it. It looks more like the deadly combat skills that the U.S. Navy SEALs used during their special training. Wow, so strong. Looks like there's no suspense in this match. It's obviously a one-sided abuse of that scumbag. Everyone couldn't help but applaud Qin Chu's skills. Qin Chu's personality was very slow and calm. It was rare to see him get angry over something and take action personally. Even Gao Ran, who had been his buddy for so many years, had only seen a few of them. Gao Ran vaguely remembered that when they were in school, Qin Chu had fought for Huamin. At that time, some girls were jealous, so they found gangsters outside the school to rob Huamin and ruin her face. In the end, Qin Chu happened to pass by and helped Huamin. 2 people, each holding a table leg, were fighting with 7 or 8 people on the other side. In the end, the 2 of them only suffered minor injuries, while the other party was in a terrible state. This incident caused quite a stir in the school at the time. Then, 4 years ago, when Qin Chu returned to the country, the pregnant woman's family sent people to cause trouble at the hospital in order to blackmail Huamin. Qin Chu was furious. He tore off his tie, barged into the detention room, and beat him up. This time, Qin Chu beat this scumbag to the brink of death for his daughter. Stop it, you bastard, let him go. I'm going to sue you. Even if we're suspects, we have human rights. You can't do this. Shen Jiani's voice was hoarse from all the shouting, but no one cared about her. In the end, Qin Chu let out a sigh of relief. He stood up, took out a dagger, and threw it at He Yongjun's hand. Come, fulfill your promise. Qin Chu's tone was extremely cold. Big brother Jun, don't. Shen Jiani screamed. Huamin looked at all of this indifferently. She didn't feel any pity for scumbags who kidnapped her child. They deserved it. He Yongjun's face was covered in blood. He was lying on the ground, barely breathing. He supported himself and slowly picked up the dagger. Chapter 2770. He used all his strength to pick up the knife, but he suddenly changed direction and stabbed at Qin Chu. Go to hell! He Yongjun rushed over with all his might as if he had gone mad. Be careful, honey. Huamin was also scared out of her wits. Unexpectedly, Qin Chu was very calm. He pulled He Yongjun's hair and punched him in the stomach. This time he used a lot of strength. After swaying a few times, He Yongjun fell to the ground with a thud. Qin Chu walked over, raised his foot, and stepped on his wrist. Coward, since you don't dare to do it yourself, I'll do it for you. After saying that, Qin Chu pulled out the dagger, raised his hand, and stabbed it directly into He Yongjun's thigh. He let out a howl like a pig being slaughtered. Chu, that's enough. Leave the rest to us. Gao Ran stepped in at the appropriate time. He felt that Qin Chu had vented his anger. He couldn't kill him in front of so many people, right? Even if he was a vicious criminal, he had to be punished by the law. Qin Chu naturally understood what Gao Ran meant, so he stood up slightly. Huamin quickly took out a white wet wipe from her bag and handed it to Qin Chu. He wiped the blood off his hand. At this moment, Qin Chu's phone rang. It was an unknown number. He frowned slightly and picked up the call. Mr. Qin Chu, right? Hearing the voice of an unknown man on the other end, Qin Chu felt that this call was related to his daughters. Sure enough, that person said again, I know where your 2 daughters are. Where are they? After Qin Chu hung up the phone, his expression was still as calm as water. He picked up his phone and called Su Yu and gave him an address. Then he looked at Gao Ran. You guys escort these 2 people back first. Lend me the helicopter. Are you going to Qinghe Town? Gao Ran seemed to understand Qin Chu's thoughts. There's news about the twins? Gao Ran was overjoyed. Qin Chu nodded. All right, then hurry up and go. We'll take the police car back. Don't forget to let us know when you pick up the child safely. In this way, Gao Ran and Qin Chu parted at the foot of the mountain. Huamin didn't forget to walk over gratefully. He looked at platoon leader Zhang Bin and bowed. Hey, Vice Dean Hua, don't be like this. Thank you everyone. Thank you for your hard work today. When my daughter comes home safely, I will definitely come here to visit everyone if I have the chance. Thank you. After that, Qin Chu and Huamin boarded the helicopter and left. Hubby who called just now. Probably because he's a kidnapper. Did they say how much ransom they wanted? Huamin was surprised. No, they seem to have changed their mind. They gave me the address directly and asked me to pick up the child. Su Yu is closer, so I asked him to bring some people over first. It's not a trap, right? Huamin felt uneasy. During this period of time, she had been tortured to the point of being paranoid. She couldn't even sleep well. As long as she closed her eyes, she would see the 2 children's voices and smiles. Don't worry, it won't happen. Qin Chu hugged Huamin tightly in his arms and comforted her softly. Qinghe Town mountain range. After receiving Qin Chu's call, Su Yu and Tang Chuan brought the local police there. Big brother, bad news. The police are here. Have we been exposed? Trickster, who was guarding the door, was scared out of his wits. Big brother Hai walked out to greet them calmly. When he saw Su Yu, he glanced at him and asked, Are you the child's father? Cut the crap. Where are the 2 children? Su Yu couldn't help but have the urge to kill. His words were very harsh. Chapter 2771. How dare you talk to my big brother like that? Trickster saw how arrogant the man in the lead was. Immediately, he felt that he had lost face. The most important thing for these hooligans was face. Trickster felt that Big Brother Hai had been seriously insulted, so he recklessly rushed up to Su Yu and reached out his hand. Before his fist could touch Su Yu, a pistol was already pressed against his temple, and his expression was very calm. The silver pistol in his hand was as cold as his personality. It was a piece of cake for an outstanding bodyguard like Shaoan to deal with such a mob. Big brother, let's talk nicely. Trickster's expression immediately changed. Who the hell wants to talk to you? Hurry up and give me the children, or I'll kill one every second. Su Yu had a bad temper to begin with. Over the years, he had restrained himself a lot because ever since he fell in love with Huamin, his personality had become gentler. But that didn't mean that it was gone. After all, the lion's nature was still there. He doted on the twins so much. Now that he saw these kidnappers, his heart burned with anger. Hurry, bring the children out. Big Brother Hai saw that this person wasn't a good person, so he didn't dare to ask if he was the father of the children. He quickly asked his subordinates to bring the twins out. When Little Bean and Pudding came out, they jogged all the way out in excitement. They knew that someone must have come to pick them up. Sis, look, it's handsome Su. From afar, Little Bean was extremely excited when she saw Suyu. She raised her chubby little hand and pointed at Suyu. I see him. Pudding was still very calm. The sisters quickly ran over and rushed into Suyu's arms. Handsome Su, I missed you so much. Boo. I thought I would never see you again. Little Bean was more emotional, so it was inevitable that she would cry in such a situation. Pudding thought that she could hold it in, but the moment she threw herself into Suyu's arms, she couldn't hold it in and burst into tears. However, she didn't make as much of a commotion as Little Bean. She just cried silently. Suyu was affected by the two children. His eyes also turned red, but he was a man. He couldn't cry in front of so many people, right? So, Suyu lifted his head and hugged the twins tightly. It's okay. It's all in the past now. Don't be afraid. I'm sorry, Uncle Su came late. Suyu blamed himself. Why couldn't they find the child sooner? Not at all. You came just in time. Little Bean hugged Suyu's neck coquettishly. Handsome Su, did you get a call? Pudding asked. Your father called me and told me the address to pick you up. Where are my daddy and mommy? Little Bean asked as she looked around for them. They have taken care of some matters in Peach Blossom Town and are on their way here. They will probably arrive soon. Suyu said. Handsome Su, did you miss me? Little Bean rubbed the tip of her nose against Suyu's face. Suyu didn't mind and smiled kindly. Yes, I miss you every day. Then did you miss me more or my sister more? Little Bean asked. Again, Suyu would panic every time he encountered such a problem. Chin Mumu, that's enough. Is this the time to joke? Pudding rolled her eyes at her. Pudding, Little Bean, you two only have eyes for handsome Su, don't you? Qin Ning walked out from behind the police with Tang Chuan by her side. Chapter 2772. Wow, Auntie. Little Bean was good at flattery. Seeing Qin Ning come over, she immediately left Suyu's arms and hugged Qin Ning's leg. Auntie, I missed you so much. Really? Qin Ning asked deliberately. Of course. Did you miss me more or your handsome Su more? Qin Ning purposely put Little Bean in a difficult position. The same. Little Bean's reaction was very fast. Little brat, you're smart. Are you hurt? Qin Ning looked at the two kids with heartache. They had been kidnapped for a few days, but they were still wearing the same clothes they were wearing the day they disappeared. They were dirty and their hair was messy. They didn't look like a proud little princess at all. Are you hurt? Yes. Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? Qin Ning was afraid that the two kids would be hurt, so she hurriedly checked their wounds. No, Auntie. That big bad guy accidentally pushed me and I hit my head. But it's fine now. Little Bean touched her head. Qin Ning's heart ached as she checked her wounds. Don't worry. That big bad guy has been caught. When I get back, I'll avenge you. Qin Ning received a call from Huamin saying that He Yongjun and Xinjiani had been caught. So, Qin Ning felt that when she got back, she would definitely make those two pay. Yes, I must avenge them. I'm going to feed that big bad guy shit and drink dog urine. I'm going to put firecrackers on his ass and blow them up. Thinking of the two people who kidnapped her, Little Bean was furious. However, she was still a kid and her words were very childish. Everyone didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Pudding, where's that bitch Zhang Manlin? Where is she? I'm going to tear her apart. Suyu asked Pudding. Ever since he found out that the twins were kidnapped by Zhang Manlin, Suyu couldn't sleep at night. He wanted to tear Zhang Manlin into pieces. After hearing this, Pudding leaned over and whispered something in Suyu's ear. After hearing this, Su Yu's expression changed slightly. Not far away, other than Big Brother Hai, his subordinates were all dumbfounded. Big Brother, what's going on? Didn't we ask for ransom? Why did you give her to them? The men were dumbfounded. I've changed my mind. I've chosen another path, Big Brother Hai said calmly. What path? Trickster turned to look at Big Brother Hai. In order for everyone to have a peaceful life for the rest of their lives, I made a deal with the kid. I took the initiative to call their father and asked him to come and pick up the kid. When the time comes, the kid's father will reward us. We are not wanted criminals, we are just good people who saved the kid from the kidnappers. Big Brother Hai had said a lot. In fact, it could be summed up in one sentence, which was to clear his name. What? Big Brother? Are you confused? How can you believe the words of a 3-year-old child? What if we get caught? Who are we going to ask for justice? Several men looked at their elder brother in despair. They didn't understand. Why would a man in his 30s believe in a child? It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. It's too late now. We can only believe it. We have no way out now. Big Brother Hai emphasized. When Su Yu came, there were a lot of police officers behind him. All of them had guns. If he wanted to kill them, it would be a matter of minutes. So, now they could only wait and see if the kid who negotiated with him would fulfill her promise. At this moment, the roar of the helicopter was deafening. Everyone looked up at the sky. An army green helicopter slowly landed. Qin Chu held Huamin's hand and got off the helicopter under everyone's gaze. Chapter 2773. Oh my God, Daddy and Mommy are so handsome. Little Bean gave Huamin and Qin Chu a halo. Maybe it was because she hadn't seen them for a few days, but it felt like a century had passed. My children. Huamin's eyes became wet the moment she saw the twins. She hurried over and squatted down. Little Bean ran like crazy, but before she could reach Huamin, Pudding pulled her back. Calm down, Little Bean. Mommy can't hug you. Pudding was much more rational and knew that Mommy couldn't hug them because she was pregnant. Oh, I remember now. Mommy's pregnant. Little Bean almost spilled the beans. Ahem, right? Mommy misses us so much, so she's very emotional. We have to calm down and don't make her cry. Pudding tried to smooth things over. Yes. Mommy, don't cry. Sis and I are fine. We're safe, Little Bean comforted Huamin. However, Huamian was so emotional that she couldn't stop her tears from rolling down her cheeks like a broken string of pearls. She hugged her 2 daughters tightly and refused to let go. Qin Chu looked at the woman and the 2 children tenderly, and the huge rock in his heart finally fell to the ground. Daddy, I missed you so much, Little Bean said coquettishly to her mommy and then threw herself at Qin Chu. Qin Chu picked up Little Bean and Pudding, one in each hand. He was so manly. Daddy missed you too. It's okay now. He comforted the 2 children gently. From afar, everyone saw the twins leaning on their father's shoulders intimately. But in fact, they did something else secretly. After a while, the twins got off Qin Chu, and Qin Chu walked toward the bandits. A few of them were so scared that they retreated, thinking that Qin Chu was going to take revenge. Who's Jiang Dehai? Qin Chu asked. I am. The bearded man stepped forward. The person who called me, was you? Qin Chu sized up the man in front of him. He was really just a vulgar man. It's me. My daughter has been with you for the past 2 days? Yes, it's always been with us. The bearded man didn't know what the man wanted to do, so he was very uncertain. After all, who would believe his agreement with Kid? If this family turned against them, they would all go to jail. Very good. We will definitely fulfill the agreement between my daughter and you. She can completely represent me. Qin Chu looked at him and said. When Big Beard heard this, he immediately let out a sigh of relief. Then, he pretended to be calm and nodded. Big Brother, what's your agreement? One of the lackeys behind him asked. The bearded man was so nervous that he seemed to have forgotten what he had discussed with Little Bean. He also forgot how much money she wanted. He even forgot about buying a house and a car. Find a job for each of us, the bearded man blurted out. Yes, the deepest impression he had was that Little Bean told him that it was better to teach a man to fish than to give him a fish. So, he only remembered to find a job. The lackeys behind him almost vomited blood when they heard this. He thought to himself, is boss stupid? He let go of someone else's child, and all he wants is to find a job for him? At this moment, Xianxia added, since you forgot, I'll say it for you. The bandits behind him immediately locked their eyes on Xianxia, this man who looked as handsome as a god. Chapter 2774. My daughter must have promised you that you and your buddies would each get a house of more than 100 square meters and a mid-level car in Sea City. She would also find you a stable job. Yes, that's what happened. Hearing Xianxia's words, Big Brother Hai immediately remembered. A house in Sea City is very expensive. A house of 100 square meters would cost millions. Big Brother Hai's men were dumbfounded. After all, they were from the mountains and had never seen much of the world. To them, Sea City was a bustling metropolis. It was like heaven. Since my daughters didn't have any external injuries, and although they were imprisoned here for 2 days, they weren't abused, so I've decided to give each of you an extra 1 million in cash. 1 million? Big Brother Hai was also dumbfounded. He didn't expect to make a profit. But it will be difficult to find a job. After all, you guys don't have a degree or any special skills. Xianxia pondered. That's not necessary, Mr. Qian. I think we can slowly find a job on our own. Thinking that he would soon have a house, a car, and 1 million in cash, Big Brother Hai wondered why he was in such a hurry to find a job. But my daughter is right. You don't have any skills. If you still can't find a job after squandering your savings, how about this? You can go back to my company for training, and then work in the security department as a security guard. Our group's salary is 6,000 a month. Although it's not very high, it's relatively stable and safe. You can think about it yourself. If you don't want to, I won't force you, but I will definitely fulfill all the conditions my daughter promised you. Thank you, Mr. Qian. We'll discuss this matter later. Oh, and before that, Big Brother Hai was very worried that he would be wanted by the police because of his previous crimes. I'll take care of that for you. Don't worry, but I want to emphasize that if you guys do anything illegal in the future, I won't interfere. Yes. We definitely won't. Who would want to break the law when they have money? Big Brother Hai was overjoyed. He didn't expect his verbal promise to his children to be fulfilled. Plus, he had an extra 1 million in cash. He was overjoyed. Okay, that's all. Where's that woman? Let her out. Xianxia didn't forget about Zhang Manlin's importance. She's also a victim. She was also captured by us. Please don't hurt her. Trickster was more impatient. Because of their brief relationship as husband and wife, he was especially worried about Zhang Manlin's situation. Xianxia glanced at her indifferently but didn't say anything. Go, bring that woman here, Big Brother Hai ordered. When Zhang Manlin was brought out, she was calm at first. When they saw Xianxia and so many people behind Xianxia, they completely panicked. At this moment, Pudding and Little Bean approached Zhang Manlin. Zhang Manlin's face turned pale with fright. Daddy, it's all thanks to Miss Zhang this time. She was kind enough to save us from those 2 bad guys, so you have to thank her properly, Pudding said. Yeah, Daddy, Miss Zhang is a nice person. We misunderstood her before, Little Bean agreed. Xianxia walked over and glanced at Zhang Manlin, but didn't say anything. Zhang Manlin was extremely nervous. She didn't dare to look into Xianxia's eyes. But after hearing what the twins said, she was confused. Why would they say that? You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.